Hey, everyone, what is going on tonight? Thank you for joining me here on Ranger-Bronco. Sometimes we mix it up, Bronco Ranger, but either way, it's Base Camp Live, and thanks for joining us.
Ranger. Hey, that's actually a thing.
Bronco Ranger?
Yeah.
Ranger-Bronco? Ranger Danger, Bronco, whatever.
Ranger
I don't know.
Danger.
Hey, so thanks for joining us tonight. I appreciate it as always. Scouring YouTube tonight. I don't think we have too much going on. We do have a lot of red in our screen over there. Sorry about that. The color's a little off tonight. Hope everyone can hear me, and I hope everyone is doing well. Hello, Nick. What is going on? Bronco 78 Adventures. Dirk Connor, what's up, everyone? What's up? Overlanding for fun. Hey, I sent you a text earlier, but hello, what's happening? What did you win?
A comment.
You won a chance to comment free of charge. Anyway,
We charge for that.
no, we've got a good show here. Dirk Connor said, "What is up, Gavin?" I guess you can see it on the comments here. Hey, I think there's a hybrid. A plug-in hybrid Bronco coming sooner than later, Gavin.
Yeah, that's one of my predictions I made.
We're going to talk about that. Gavin did actually say that. It's prediction. I have some data here.
But I'm not going to take the time to go through all of our streams to look.
Here, read this, study it. You have 5 minutes. There'll be a quiz.
All right.
So we're going to go right on into the comment. Ryan, hey, what's going on? How are you? So Bronco Fest 2023 is just a few days away. We're going to go to the website, screen share that. I did reach out to them and see if they want to have someone on as a guest tonight, and they could not make it, I guess. But we're going to talk about it, and I think they were okay with that. Bronco Fest is held in southwestern part of Virginia, in Wytheville, Virginia. Beautiful country, up in the mountains, obviously, Southwest Virginia. And it's just a really nice place to go. A lot of historic places there. It makes it really fun for the drives and staying at some pretty cool places. And we I think it's going to be fun there and right on time. Right? I mean, couldn't ask for better timing. Andrea, what's going on with that? 1999 super chat. Thank you very much. That's going directly into the travel fund. That's what I was saying about just in time. We're headed to Wytheville. It's going to be fun, and we'll definitely be doing a lot of videos reporting back. Gavin's presence there or not is a little up in the air because you have you want to tell everybody your unique situation?
Yeah, so my last field day at the school that I've been going to for...
Since you've been in school.
Hold on.
See if school worked here.
8 years, which only goes up to 5th grade. This is gonna be my last field day on Friday, which just happens to be the day that we're going. I hope it pours so much here and they cancel it and do it to like next Friday or Tuesday, because I don't want to miss it. But if it's
so the deal is,
yeah,
the weather is calling for, as of right now, and maybe I could check while we're doing this, see if it's changed. They're calling for rain this weekend. It depends on where you're located. Obviously, in Virginia, it looks like rain both in Wytheville on Saturday and Sunday and Monday, and of course here in the eastern part of Virginia. So the idea was, if I could get one good day out of it, I would just have to go late Thursday and get there for Friday. But Gavin can't go Friday. So if I do that, he can't go to the entire event. However,
Mom could drive me.
That's not happening.
No.
If they push the rain back, so they're not calling for rain in Wytheville, then I will wait and head down Friday afternoon. So we'll be there for Friday night and Saturday. So,
all right, so 5 hours.
So if you're going to Wytheville, the reason why
around 5 or 6 or 5
hours. 5 hours travel, man.
Yeah, but with stops.
Oh.
You know, like
rest stop, restaurant.
Lunch,
how many stops do you? Gavin and I have fun on our travels, by the way.
The restaurant.
How many times do we normally stop with you? Like once every 2 hours?
No.
3 hours? Something like that?
Going to Tennessee, we stopped 4 times. one at a restaurant, I believe. Actually, no, 5. One at a restaurant, 2 gas stations, and 2 rest stops.
Okay, so the weather right now is saying 5% chance of rain in Wytheville on Friday and 41% chance on Saturday. So hopefully tomorrow that will change a little bit, so it won't be but so bad. So we shall see. But I did. Okay, I'm gonna get ready to get. Somebody's going to join the show here in just a second. If I can do this, you want to talk about the reason why you can't go, right? The year end. You just talked about that. You're having a field day. Don't mention your school.
Yeah,
and
I'm
what
not
else?
gonna say my school name. But yeah, it's field day. You know, there's a bunch of activities. You're like, one of them's like, you're in a big potato sack and you're doing a race where you like have to like hop around a cone and then come back. So, and then cornhole. There's all these other water activities. There's like a lunch thing. Sometimes they rent an ice cream truck, which is cool. And you don't have to pay. You can get like 1 or 2 things of ice cream.
Having a good old time then.
Yeah,
right?
It's just cool.
So anyway, so if you're going to Bronco Fest 2023, what day I'm there, is Gavin there? All of that's going to depend on the weather, because if there's really only going to be one good solid day, like if they're calling for just a total washout, I'm not going Saturday. I'll go Friday and then come back, Saturday morning or late Friday night or whatever. Gavin and I do these crazy trips, by the way.
Yeah.
We did Statesville in a day. We normally do Carlisle in a day.
Yeah, we done it in a day 2 times. What, 6-7 hours each way?
Yeah. And sorry if you noticed something on Gavin's nose here. He's peeling a little bit. The sun.
Okay.
Yeah, you are. So you got sunburn. And now he's worried about it. But if yeah. So anyway, so it's going to be fun either way. If I'm there Friday, we're both there Saturday. It doesn't really matter. It's what we're going to do. So
yeah, pasta.
We do have a good. We do have a good guest join us in just a second. Bronco 78 said, "Get your raincoat, take the top off, you'll be fine." Yeah, I know. I've gotten a marine grade vinyl. Maybe we could try it out, but I think you know me better than that. I just started getting my Bronco dirty, right?
Yeah, that is skin. I thought it was pasta sauce.
Yeah, you're sunburned.
Because it hurts to.
Yeah, you're sunburned. But anyway, so we're good to go. All right, we're gonna bring Tim in here. But I do, any questions that you have about Bronco Fest before we share the website, yeah, ask away. If there's anything that I know, I'll try to answer it. If not, we'll find some answers out. So, all right, Tim, here you go. Get ready to bring you in.
What? Oh, hey.
What are you looking for? What's going on, Tim? Overlanding,
dude.
Fun.
Man, I'll tell you. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Thanks for awesome. Thanks for jumping on there last minute. I know I sent you that text late.
Oh, I didn't even see it. I'm not gonna lie. I was outside in the garage working on an antenna and a radio, and came wrapped up, came back in the house, sat down, and just for your show to start, and then.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I heard you mention it, or maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I sent you a text earlier. Oh no, it was in the chat thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I sent you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I sent you a text. What's up, man?
Yeah. Sure.
But no. So, is it ham or GMRS or a little bit of all of that, or what are you working on?
I was working on a ham radio antenna.
Gotcha.
So it's an antenna that I've had for probably 4 or 5 years. It's a portable antenna.
Oh.
And I'd been having some problems with it. This past weekend, I was over in Dayton, Ohio, for the Dayton Hamvention, which is they call them Ham Fest, but essentially it's a gathering of people. They have flea markets where they sell and swap stuff. Yeah, not much different than I think probably a Bronco Super Celebration, except for it's with radios and
not Broncos.
Yeah, not Broncos, but similar kind of thing. There's a flea market, there was 3 buildings packed from end to end, full of new manufacturers and resellers and stuff like that. And this particular Ham Fest has, I think last year there were right about 26,000 attendees for the weekend. So that we haven't gotten the numbers yet, but it was busy.
Gotcha.
So it's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday type event. So
the communication thing, and I'll talk to you offline about this, but I think we're almost ready to communicate with GMRS stuff. Been working on that. A lot of people say, well, you haven't gotten it set up yet. No, I haven't. I only have any number of things going on. And honestly, I haven't had a chance to put any videos out. So if you're looking for new videos from us, they're going to start rolling out this week. I don't know if I guess you heard by now, you saw from the thumbnail, Bronco Fest 2023. It's the second annual one. And it's in a place called the Apex Center in Wytheville, Virginia. Now, Wytheville is a beautiful place. A lot of historic, sites to see. One cool place I want to go, hopefully Gavin can go with me, is the Great Lakes to Florida Roadway Museum or something to that nature. That sounds interesting, with the automotive theme. But the drives up there is supposed to be very, very good and just incredible views. So going by the New River and some other places like that. So it's going to be fun going up there for the first time. Unfortunately, it looks like as of right now, part of the weekend might be a little wet, but then again, maybe that changes tomorrow. It's been trending less.
Dwayne, I'm with Craig, Bronco 78 Adventures.
No,
take the top off and go have some fun.
No,
it's what you bought.
No.
It's what you bought the Bronco for.
I bought it. Hold on.
It can handle the rain in the cabin.
I bought it to have fun with. It's like, what do you say when your kids like, why did you buy that? Say, I'm spending your inheritance. I just tell Gavin, I'm just ragging out your Bronco before you get it. So, no,
See,
I'm not for that. Getting it dirty is cool, but I'm not for the getting it. So if it ever gets wet, it gets wet. It is what it is. But I'm not going to just knowingly do it. However, it would be fun to ride around like that. We did pass a Jeep not too long ago. They had taken their doors off, or that they passed me. They were in a hurry to get home. They had their doors off. Everyone in the Jeep was soaking wet.
Oh,
they waved.
Remember that? No, they looked pretty
wave.
disgruntled. No. Because we can keep our doors in the back. We could have put them. No, I'm sorry. It's a shameless plug there.
But we were.
Theirs were tied up around a tree somewhere.
Yeah, we were on the interstate.
I love you, Jeep guy. I'm just kidding.
Kidding. Last time I took my roof off earlier this spring, it was a nice day. It was in the mid 70s. Looked great. Had the tops out. Went to go pick up the kids. Got my first son from one school. Went to the other school. Got my other son, and the entire ride home was a downpour.
You told me about that. Yeah. I didn't know that. Did you do a video? Because it if you did
I didn't do a video. It just we were flying down the interstate. Now, I will say this and it was running pretty hard too, but at 70, well, I will admit to going 70 miles an hour. There's enough disruption, of air that it does a pretty good job of keeping the rain out of the Bronco. So
yeah. Well, and that I mean that's fine, but yeah, as far as the Wytheville thing going, it's Bronco Fest. It looks like it's trending to our favor. So the original idea is Gavin and I are going Friday afternoon, there Saturday, and then leaving there, staying at a hotel Friday night, and then tent camping in Floyd, Virginia on Saturday night, and stopping by and seeing a friend in Roanoke on our way back home, and then going to the Outer Banks on Monday. So the original plan is a busy week from Friday till Monday. The rain, though, is going to adjust our schedule, and we'll see by how much. So anyway, hey, Tim, I want to show you this. If I can share this, I got to edit the layout here. That's weird. That's weird, too. Oh, let's see if we can share the screen, Tim. What does that look like there? Can you see me? Can you see it? Maybe just see it. I don't think you're going to see us. Sorry, I'm waiting to go live or waiting for the live stream over here on my
slight delay.
There's a big delay is what I'm trying to say over on YouTube. So anyway, so Bronco Fest, and it's not showing up yet. Bronco Fest is an event that they've had. Here we go. See if we can add this thing. Oh, there we are. There we are. A little technical stuff. So Bronco Fest 2023, second one. It's pretty cool. It's there in the Apex Center in Wytheville, Virginia. And it looks like, and we're going to kind of go through this a little bit here. Thursday, I'm sorry, I said Friday. Thursday through Saturday, May 26th through the 27th, Wytheville, Virginia. Register today. So if you click over on the register tab of the website, you'll see it's $75. It's not bad at all. It's right in line with what you pay with Supercell. And then, you put all your info in there. Yeah, it looks like you get a T-shirt with that. It's pretty cool. They have the address here and obviously different paying selections. So if you're looking to go this weekend, do something different, there you go. Now, the event schedule is there again, waiting until tomorrow to figure out what day will be there, if not both. But event registration starts Friday morning at 8:30. And then basically it's all day. There is a drive. Now, that drive goes from the Apex Center to Burke's Garden. Come with a full tank of gas. So it sounds like it's a nice long drive there. And you have vendors, Broncos on display, swap meet, which should be pretty cool. Never know what you'll find there. And then Saturday, 8:30 a.m., the event's all day. They're again until 5. And the drive here is going from the Apex Center to historic Major Graham Mansion. So if you look up Major Graham Mansion, that ought to be pretty cool. Foster Falls, New River. If you know anything about Virginia and the mountains, you'll know the New River is talked about quite a bit, runs through there. West Wind Winery. That's always cool. And there again, full tank of gas, so it sounds like it's a nice drive. And then there's going to be awards and giveaways, everything at the end of the day. So it sounds like a fun event for all day. So let's remove that from the layout. So what do you think? If you lived a few hours closer, would you try it out?
Oh, I think so. Yeah. I love the artwork that was on that page. I'm wondering if you can buy T-shirts online. That'd be a nice graphic T-shirt to have.
Yeah, they did. Gavin, do you? So you're always like the T-shirt fan there. You always get the T-shirts wherever we go, but you're looking for something like that. So Tim, what do you think with the hybrid Bronco coming out? Do you think it's going to be a reality? Do you think it's a pipe dream, or what do you think? You think it would be hybrid or EV? What do you think?
I think it's going to be hybrid.
Okay.
It's just my gut feeling. There's no good way to charge these things if you're out doing stuff.
That's right.
Off the beaten path. And that's what this is really designed for. I really thought that, the all electric Hummer really just was a little too much. Same thing. It's a pig out on the trails, whatever. Well, that, maybe that one isn't really designed to be on the trails.
Yeah. Well, it's off road.
It is off road. Yes. But it's a tank in itself.
Yeah.
So maybe out in open fields with no obstructions, but nonetheless, this is something, if you get it out off the beaten path, there's no real good way to charge it short of bringing, your generator with you to do it. So I think an all electric off-road vehicle isn't necessarily the wisest thing.
No. Think about the weight, though. I think a lot of engineers, civil engineers, are going to have to consider this. What if there was a day where a bridge full of stop and go traffic was 100% full of EVs? Like, how does that change engineering of bridges going forward, right, with the weight?
Well, I definitely agree. I mean, I guess an interesting thing to look at would be, take any vehicle that has both an electric and an all electric and an ICE option, and see what that weight difference is between those two.
Yeah, I think it's a reality that we're going to need to look at, right?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah,
Oh,
and yeah, of
absolutely.
course. So I think, and there was a over on Cox Automotive, they did they wrote a really good story on this. So when it comes to alternative fuels, out of everyone looking at that and trying to take advantage of a $7,500 tax, incentive, a tax credit, I should say, about 18% of people were looking at hybrids, plug-in or just plain hybrids. 9% were looking at straight EV. So that tells that there is a group of buyers that are trying to work that tax credit thing, but they also still want the ICE option in there, right? So it's like, okay, I'm going to give you a little bit and try to go with the system and do part of what you want, but I don't
Yep.
want to be full away from ICE, you know.
And I think that's definitely a security blanket for people. I had an opportunity. I sat down yesterday with a friend of mine who has recently purchased a Tesla. I guess he's had it for about 6-8 months now.
Hmm.
And we were talking about that, and uh, he's the longest trip he's taken in it was one that he could essentially do in one charge. So it wasn't like a big deal. It wasn't, driving so far and having to charge up and then continue driving and so on. And then he said when he got there, they had free chargers anyway. So he just went ahead and plugged in and topped it off. But in some scenarios, I mean, we look at the Ford Lightning. You slap any kind of a decent load on that thing, trailer wise, something in the bed. I'm seeing 100 miles
Yeah.
for a full charge. And you get into some of the bigger cities for a contractor, they'd probably have to bring their generator out too and charge it up. I mean, just thinking about where I live, south of Indianapolis, where a lot of new construction stuff's going on is on the far north side of Indianapolis. That's 50, 60 miles right there.
Just to travel and forget
just to travel to the area for them to work. And then anything they may do throughout the day, if they're going to multiple, work sites, they're gonna chew that up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I think electric, it's good. I've always had that philosophy that I don't really care what the power plant is, as long as it's got the giddy up and go when I need it.
Yeah.
And that's why I press that power down.
The options there.
Mm-hmm.
Gavin's going to have to go in just a minute. Gavin, before you go, what are your thoughts? Like when you start driving here in a few years, well, we know what vehicle you have already, but what do you think as a youngster at your age? What do you think about the whole EV or hybrid stuff? Here. What do you think?
Not a fan.
When you're watching YouTube videos, right? I know you're not concerned because you're not going to be driving, but when you're watching the YouTube stuff, how do you take it? How do you like it? Or
I like a GT, and if Ford ever makes a electric GT, I'm going to be very sad and mad at the same time. Because
Gavin wants a Ford GT.
Oh yeah, like Mark II.
No, but when
that's
you're watching,
just like a vehicle that you can't make EV.
When you're watching the videos though on YouTube of all the cool stuff, are you really, really interested in the EV aspect of it, or more toward the gas?
Okay, so these are the only vehicles that, if I had to, I would buy.
Mm-hmm.
The Porsche Taycan, whatever you want to call it. It looks kind of cool, and
the Porsche, you said?
Yeah, but that's about the only thing.
Okay.
Maybe a Tesla Model S Plaid. I just don't. I like Elon Musk. I'm just not a fan of them.
You just you're not. So as a kid, you're just not like on to it.
I would definitely buy the Mach-E, honestly. Not because it's not just because it's Ford, but that is the main factor, But
I know.
I think it's very cool, actually. like the door handles. You
Yep.
press a button and it like, and then you.
So what Gavin said, the tech stuff with the EV,
Yeah.
that's really what he likes. I don't think it matters to him either way. Well, Gavin, good night, sir. Thank you for joining us for a few
Good night,
minutes.
everybody.
Hey, summer break, you'll be able to spend some more time here with us at night. So Tim, I was looking at some of the things out there, and I think that EV has a place, but I really believe that mid 24, probably you'll get an announcement of a hybrid Bronco coming. There's the hybrid Ranger, has to be right behind it. And the reason why I changed the name of the show, I guess I can move this over now. The name of the show is because, hey, it's two vehicles built on the same platform. And if you're going with the Raptor, or if you're going with the FX4, that can hang with a lot of the Broncos, right? And so it's a wheeling partner off-road. So I think that with the same platform, we know Volkswagen has been able to do it on the T6. That Ford.
I was getting ready to say, isn't you got the Bronco and you've got the Bronco and the Raptor. Isn't the Volkswagen International Scout also going to be on the same platform?
The T6 platform. Yep.
Yeah.
T6.2 if you wanted to get real technical about it, but T6, yes. And so we know it's the length of it, right? Here's part of the issue. When you do a hybrid, you need the space for the transmission electric motor, so you gain overall length between the engine and the rear diff. So if you think about moving the wheels, they've moved them on the Ranger. The wheelbase is extended 2 inches forward in the front. So if you think about that, there's a little bit, I think, of favor to the rear, but most of the movement of the wheels to the front. Now, on the surface, and most of the automotive reviewers that got the opportunity to go to Upper Michigan there, I know where in Michigan, but I won't say it because I don't think Ford want to announce it. No. But none of them really, they talked about for approach and departure, but none of them got into, well, is it just for approach and departure, or is it also because now we have the space in the platform, right, for a hybrid to work? And I have to say, I think they're getting ready for it. Ford's already said they want to electrify everything. We all know that. I just really believe that the Bronco and the Ranger, it's getting ready to happen, and it'll happen probably for a 25 model year, but we should know about it in 24. That is not that's not of breaking news. That is a speculation on my part only. So that's it.
Yeah.
So,
well, I remember what you reading, same thing about the departure angle and everything. I don't think even I'm going to use auto journalist. They write stories, they gather facts, they get numbers and information, and they put something together to send out with some speculation, probably that that somebody else has done. No, most people, including myself, I don't look at these things like an engineer. I think, on the other hand, with your drive with engine building and stuff like that, I think you look at stuff a little bit more like an engineer, a little bit more in depth, and start asking the question, well, why are they doing that? Versus, oh, cool, they just did it, and this is probably why. Not, well, why did they really do it? So I think there's a different, you have a different take on it than and I think most people you'd see across the board.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, and I think Ford definitely should reach out to someone like me to get that different perspective, because I will bring that side of it.
I made the open offer to Ford almost 3 weeks ago on that Trail app thing, which you still have to log into to even use the damn thing.
Gotcha.
A lot of good that does you out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
But I'm like, call me, Ford.
Call me.
We can talk.
Yeah. Call me.
Sorry, guys, just renew my Onyx subscription.
Well, and there's a couple of things too. Like, if you look at the 2.3 option in the new Ranger coming out, we're kind of going across the board between Bronco and Ranger, but they are closely connected. The 2.3 liter, I've watched every review that I could see on it. The closest one that came to technical stuff is TFL Andre did a great interview with the head of Ford Performance. I forget the gentleman's name, but just a really, I'd probably talk to him all day if I was there. But the best technical review, of course, the best overall review was Joe Rady. But as far as the technical side, they're talking about a lot of stuff. But I wanted to know, is that so the 2.3 EcoBoost for the Mustang, for the 24 Mustang, the S650, is different. It's not a new generation. It's sort of a mid-cycle refresh. But it has some different stuff with the EGR. It's got different rods and pistons, and I think it's a different compression ratio, I want to say. So my question is, does it have the new 2.3 in it? And I have a source that says, so I can't confirm it again, it's only one, that there is a refresh of the 2.7 coming. So is that why the 2.7 is going to be a late year option? In other words, you can order it, but it'll be a late year build. So I guess my question is, the new Rangers and Broncos for, say, late 23, 24, are they going to be the new version of the 2.3, or is that new version just for the Mustang and the Bronco still has the same 2.3? Something also I'm interested, Tim, is, have you noticed the Ranger, how user-friendly the bed portion is?
I have not.
So you can actually lay a
ham
piece
radio
of
kick for the last couple of weeks. So
yeah, trying to work on that. Well, think about it. You can get a sheet of plywood in the back now to overhang the tailgate a little bit, but width-wise between the fender wells, that's always been an issue. So that's great. It's kind of cool factor. They've got the measuring tape sort of in the tailgate on, and depends on what trim you get dampeners for the tailgate, the gate itself. So it doesn't just slam down. It'll sort of, it's throttled down, with the gas struts.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
I believe that has a 5-foot bed.
I think it is. Yeah.
So
I forget
the
actual
5 foot closed, probably another foot with the tailgate open.
Yep.
Does it have the flip over? It doesn't have the flip over gate or anything like that, does it?
I don't think there's anything fancy on the tailgate itself. I think it's just a swing gate. But one thing too is, if you notice the side steps on the side of it, GM came out with that step in the bumper years ago. I mean, they've had that for a long time, and it was cool, right? When I first saw it, I was like, well, it's interesting. It's pretty cool. Help you, reach over into the bed of the truck. But one thing that I've noticed is people keep commenting, well, it's nice that you can get both feet or work boots or something in there. That's cool. But the reason why they put it in the bed of the truck and not the bumper is, imagine how wide the bumper would be if you had a place for 2 feet or big boots in there, right?
Oh yeah.
So they made that wide cutout into the bed of the truck, which I think is really a cool aspect. But what I want to know is, you have the inverter with the 400 available watts of 110 power in the bed of the truck. When do you think that will make it into the Bronco?
I don't know. I think the selling point for having that inverter is to run power tools off of.
I'm looking at camping.
Well, that is true.
I mean, we have the plug-in in the Bronco now, but you know what I mean? The let me say this, the length of time you could run that kind of a load.
Oh, you can't. You can't. You probably couldn't even run a coffee pot off that thing.
Right.
And have it run through a whole brew cycle. So, I've actually installed dual 30 amp direct line circuits to the back of my Bronco, and I've got a portable inverter that I can plug right in and create AC out of if I need to. That can handle a little bit more than the onboard one.
Right, you can do that.
Yep.
Destination Bigfoot Bronco, thank you, by the way, for plugging the show tonight. I definitely appreciate it. We are going to start to really promote this show with our new videos coming out, our review videos. I have a funny one there. I'm going to share it because we don't have a lot of people watching right now. There'll be a lot more in replay. But for those of you who are here, you're going to get a treat here, a little fun. By the way, hit that thumbs up for me. If you're watching right now, hit the thumbs up. So I want to do a review of an outgoing 23 Ranger and sort of compare what is there with the 24, right? And say, well, if I was there, then, but seriously, to see how it's changed. Now, I won't have a new Ranger to show like a side-by-side, but we can definitely pop up some video on the B-roll. Yeah. But, I think that we have the Bronco now, right? So we don't have, but I think with the Ranger, you'll be able to see what they've done in that comparison video. So that's coming up. Also a review of an F-250, a few-year-old F-250. There again, there's a reason for that video. An actual review of my 66 Mustang from the front to the rear, not just segments of it, but an actual review of the car. And some lost footage that we're having put from an old, so it came from a camcorder tape to a DVD, and now it's going to be put into digital form so that I can make a video showing me at 27 years old, giddy as all get out when I found that car.
Now, is that with the big fro?
Mullet. Oh, no. Officially, the mullet was out. So let's just say long hair or longer hair. No, it wasn't that long.
I thought
it wasn't. It was an 80s mullet. It was sort of some mid-90s
hybrid. A picture with the fro.
No, not me. That was my.
Well,
I
say
that
fro.
Was my brother. That was on Facebook. That was my brother.
That was your brother. Okay.
Yeah. That was when I posted that. Right after he passed away. But no, I was a proud. Party in the rear,
business up front, party in the rear,
whatever it was.
Party in the back.
Look, man, a lot of people had haircuts like that in the 80s.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I suppose you were wearing bell bottoms too. And
no, I wasn't wearing bell bottoms. I was wearing some ripped up jeans. However, I didn't pay extra for it. I did it with hard work. So, but hand me down jeans or whatever. But I think, getting back to that, I think that there's a lot of this stuff that can be said about these reviews coming up. And but we have that coming up on the channel. But what we also have coming up is whatever footage I get from Bronco Fest 2023. I think it's going to be really fun. I was able to talk to some people up there. It's awesome sounding. It just sounds like kind of folks you get along with, just like Tom over at Super Celebration East. Just good people. So it's going to be fun. You ought to drive over from Indiana just for the heck of it.
I should.
Or fly to the closest airport. I'll send Gavin to pick you up. Oh, I'm sorry. He can't do that for 5 years. We'll come over and get you.
Okay. Yeah. I'm planning on, I was actually looking at hotels up in the area in Wisconsin for Supercell Wisconsin, and getting ramped up for that.
Hey, what is the where is the closest airport? Is it Wisconsin Dells? Is that where it is?
So Madison.
Okay.
Probably Madison or Milwaukee. I'm sure there's like a commuter airport in that area.
Well, just fire up the old jet card and get a private jet over that way.
And there is a company, speaking of which, a company, I think, it's an EU company, but it's a hybrid car gyrocopter. So it has, are you familiar with gyrocopters?
I am.
Yeah. So, so the wings will fold back when you're in car mode, or they'll come out, and then the prop will come up.
Nice.
That'll spin around, and then you've got an engine propeller on the rear that will do that. I saw a video of their prototypes have been done for a few years, and they're obviously, they have, not only the European equivalent of our DOT, and then the FAA, their equivalents. Then they also have to get FAA approval and US DOT approval and everything. So, but I think they said that they're doing it all in the EU because their standards are stricter than ours. So if they can get it done in the EU, then they'll just be able to get it basically.
They have stricter standards than we do.
I think that's what they were saying in the video, that the EU's equivalent agencies have stricter standards. So if they can get signed off and certified by those, then the US ones are just essentially signatures.
Yeah. And by the way, speaking flying private has never been more affordable, by the way, just for anyone that wants to know. That's the great thing, that the easy part's buying a plane, the hard part's maintaining it, right? So jet cards are nice. They're sort of like little credit cards. You set it up with different companies. Anyway, Destination Bigfoot Bronco. This goes back to the haircut, by the way, there. He says parents gave him $20 to cut it off. So Nick, I didn't technically have a rat tail. That was, parents wouldn't allow that, but just, let the hair grow a half inch longer each month. And and I'm getting a buzz cut tomorrow. Of course, I can't take my hat off, but I'm getting a buzz cut tomorrow. So I'll be good to go for the summer. But Tim, so I'm thinking about, I was in a couple stores today. Mm-hmm. I had to go to Walmart today. I was in Lowe's today. Dangerous. Yeah, I was in Lowe's today, and I couldn't help but think, I know why the Bronco was right on time. I know why Ford's selling a lot of off-road, and other companies as well, off-road vehicles. There is no better time to be out in the woods than right now. I tell you what, it's getting outdoors, getting off the beaten path, getting away from traffic, getting away from the crowds of people and all the static that you have to deal with on a daily basis. I tell you, I think the movement, to me, if you've had a Jeep, you've been doing it for years. If you've other vehicles, I get it. Not just a Jeep, but you know what I mean? The masses. You're seeing a lot of people that want to get off the beaten path. And we've said it a gazillion times, if that's a number on this channel, that Ford had the right marketing at exactly the right time. But if you look at other companies like Toyota with the Tacoma and their overlanding version, nice looking truck, by the way. I mean, it looks sharp. And then you have, I don't know what you think about the International, if you think it's really going to be an off-road or if it's sort of going to be, like it could go off-road, but mainly be on the road. But I think that the timing for the Ranger Raptor, the Ranger FX4, the Bronco in general, along with the companies that are there, I just think it's right on time. What do you think?
I agree. And I think if you go back and you look at the car market 10 years ago, there was this transition already starting, getting away from cars. People were looking more and more. The crossover was the big thing. And I think that it's just a continuation. I think the pandemic kind of accelerated that movement, but as more and more as people have been able to take technology on the road with them, I can log in and I can manage my data centers from anywhere in the world, short of somebody having to physically touch something,
right?
Which in my realm is not there. I can do this wherever. So as long as I have connectivity, so yeah, getting out, going to different places, work, out of the camper or whatever during the day, and go explore a different state or different side of the country or whatever at night with the family. I see those as valuable things, and kind of, they always talk about in the business world, work-life balance, right? And I just see this as a way that people can kind of balance that, work, get away from it. So many, like in my arena, it was almost expected that you get these emails from people at 10, 11 o'clock at night because they're still working. And they're not the boss. They're not the person profiting from the company.
Right.
So why are they still working? I don't know. And I think slowly people are detaching from that and getting out and doing things.
Well, a lot of people, and we'll talk. This is going another one of my YouTube channels that we're really going to start expanding later this month to help people. Is there's a lot of folks beat down. You can walk around and look at facial expressions,
Mhm.
and I deal with people at work all the time. And motivation for me is huge, and getting the life back in people around me. And I don't know if I can say this word. I better not say it, but I will say this. What I can say is life begins at the end of comfort. It's like where you're willing to leave comfort, right? Life then begins. I've been thinking a lot about that. And for me, life began when I couldn't afford a roll of chocolate chip cookie dough. It was like, that's it. That was
Yeah.
some people, it was a big deal. They, couldn't buy their kids a toy. Whatever the story is, mine was chocolate chip cookie dough. I'm like, dude, if I can't buy a roll of that stuff, and that was back in the mid 90s, if I can't buy a roll of that stuff, forget fixing cars up and having a meaningful life. It's like, I'm done. And I think that a lot of people, like you said, some people are looking at safety nets socially that they don't have to work. And then other people are saying, well, I can work remotely. Your example, when
Mhm.
I went to Overland East Expo, there was these big, I don't know, they started out as trucks or buses and converted or built from the ground up using Ford F-650 truck beds or trucks, and they've added $600,000 units. And what they told me was a lot of people say in California sold their house and they can buy that, travel the country, and work remotely. So you have that. You have a lot of people that have freed up, but there are people that just don't want to, work that late and all that good stuff. But I won't get too far off that way. Uh, Bird Dog Off-Road Adventures. I still have to get your name right, by the way. The new Forerunner should be interesting. I agree with you 110%. And I was going to give you grief about this. We start at 9 o'clock around here, so you might
Yeah.
want to.
Well,
Thanks for joining us. Seriously,
the
appreciate it.
new Forerunner will still have 5-year-old tech in it.
Yeah, yeah. But
That
let me
to
tell you,
replace the 10-year-old tech
look, there again, I haven't
in the
seen
Gen
the
5.
truck, haven't seen it, haven't ridden in it, haven't driven it, reviewed it, whatever. Toyota, call me. It's yeah. Sorry, I'm getting those plugs in.
There you go. Hey,
Yeah, whatever, man. It works. Mobile said, I finally got my hotspot to work. Have you used yours, by the way, in your Bronco?
yeah, I turned on the free trial. I don't know how many gigabits it was but I turned it off. We were kind of reevaluating cell phone providers. We're with Verizon and it's AT&T, and I probably would have kept it if we had AT&T phones or if it was a Verizon
Got it.
thing. But I just didn't want to have two different bills.
I agree.
Both my young sons have tablets, and they both got cellular modems in them. So I didn't, they're fine. They don't have to tether to my wife's phone or I to do stuff and leave us alone.
Bronco 78 Adventure said, the off-road market has always done well for vehicle manufacturers when they truly concentrate on making good off-road capable vehicles, right? And just not modifying street vehicles, right? So Ford obviously did that with the Bronco and the 24 Ranger, by the way. Mobile said, I am at a campsite right now in the middle of the big mitten that is Michigan. Well, hello, Mobile. Thanks for joining, by the way. Appreciate you being in the chat tonight, as always. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Back to living out of my RV trailer. So I guess Mobile's on the road quite a bit. And there again, you were talking earlier with technology, we're able to do that, right? So I think for what I do, it's complicated.
Yeah.
But for what you do, sounds like that's your dream thing. You get to travel and work.
That's what I do now. I work. I don't travel a whole lot, but I work from home, and I don't have to. Yeah, just by the shift. I cut 2 hours a day of driving out of my schedule, just to be for myself. But I tell you what, I've going back to, and I don't know if it's just I've hit a certain age or whatever, but I've taken the I'm not gonna say short timers attitude, but not that far from retirement. And I look at it. I live, I work to live, not live to work. That's kind of how my approach is with things now.
Hey, mobile motto, namaste. I see your live to work, work to live. Earth roamer. There's the name of a shirt there, Tim. Overlanding for fun, earth roaming. I mean, just saying.
I better jump out and get that earth roaming for fun.
Earth roaming for fun. Yeah, get it before. Now that I could have just told you. I could have texted it to you, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see. What do we got on here? More like 50. Oh, bird dog off road overland said more like 15-year-old tech. Well, at least it'll look good, because I will tell you, their new truck, their Tacoma, right? Yeah, it looks sharp. Looks good. So I wanted to do a video on it, but there again, I don't have time. I don't take off during the day to do videos on vehicles. I wish I could sometimes, but I should have some time coming up here a little bit. I'm complaining about my work schedule, even though I'm not really complaining about it. I'm just saying there's typically more balance, and then think about this weekend we have Withville. Next weekend we have Carlisle. So there's going to be tons of footage for stuff, right? And so let's see if we can see some really cool Broncos. I did see Manny was in the chat earlier. Manny is a friend of the channel, friend of ours that goes to different events. He was at Super Celebration East, and it looks like he's going to be in Withville, and that's going to be fun.
Awesome. Speaking of giving up work, Nurse AJ is in the chat.
Well, hey, Nurse, I'm trying to scroll through the comments. I left them hanging for a while, so I'm scrolling through them right now.
Oh my God!
Mobile
slacking
stuff.
Your co-host duties there.
I don't have co-host here, so Gavin's out. Oh, let's see. Nurse AJ, what is going on? I just gave up my second job in ER because life is more important than work. Very good. Yeah, and I think a lot of people, Nurse AJ, as you know, are experiencing that. Tim, I don't know if it shows on video yet, but someone mentioned the other day, they said, "Hey, are you all right?" Like, oh God, with the head tilt thing, ask them, "Am I right?" What? And they said, "You've lost a lot of weight." Like, okay, well, because I'm trying. I have cut out 90, I'll say 90. I don't know how we do these percentages. Sounds good, right? Yeah. I've cut out 90%, at least of what I know of processed sugar.
Oh, you're not drinking diet beer?
No, beer has it. I get it. And if you're at a restaurant, and you get regular
10%
ketchup on a burger.
Yeah.
So I know before anybody, because it's like someone I know personally here. They're like, well, yeah, I know. Maybe 85% okay. But what I'm saying is I'm not eating glazed donuts and cookies and mobile. I'm not gnawing on cookie dough or anything. But, seriously, I'm not eating chocolate chip cookies anymore. And so I'm really trying to help myself. And how this is retained into our chat tonight, as Nurse AJ just said about life's more important. Man, I tell you, I need to start, more energy, right? And so since I've changed my diet by itself, of course, I do balance of nature. I love that stuff. A lot of water and just generally happy person. I'm not miserable by nature. I feel a lot better, Tim, just by doing that. So yeah, there is something to life, and there's also something to the peace and quiet of the outdoors. Going to that trail, like you see Mike Levine all the time. who I like his video or his pictures that he posts on social media because he's always showing a cool vehicle. What a great job to have. But he's always driving the latest hot rod Ford, but he's always in these really cool places, out west, Moab, over the edge of a cliff, looking at the sunrise or sunset. That's the kind of stuff that does I think the soul good. So anyway, that was just that was a long
selling
answer.
That dream for Ford.
Selling that dream for Ford. He is.
Beer
and
is better than Gatorade.
Yep.
Yeah, I had changed my diabetes medicine, and since I've switched, I'm right at about 30 pounds I've lost in 12 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That's huge. I mean,
yeah,
good job, man. And you feel better, right? You have to feel better.
Oh yeah. The side effect is you aren't as hungry, and so then you don't eat as much, and then your meals are spaced out further, and you don't snack, and yeah, and then it makes me thirsty as all get out. Which, drinking lots of water is not a bad deal.
Yeah. Becky will thank you for her prediction on her age there, by the way.
It's always a safe bet.
Yeah, not quite half. But no, seriously. And here's the thing about off-roading. And I want to get to something else that I don't have a cool screen share of, which I could have prepped for that. I just thought about it as we were talking about it. But anyway, as far as the health thing, get outdoors, have fun, be around nature. Trees are good for you. The sound of water in a creek is good for you. I did that little video in the mountains. It was awesome. But look, what do you think about the rear differentials, the axle housings cracking with some of the, have you seen the reports on this? Some people are saying the dealers aren't going to warranty it or Ford's not going to warranty it.
I haven't yet.
Okay.
So I think a lot of times, and I guess it kind of depends. Are they cracking from abuse? Or are they cracking because of poor metallurgy, or why are they cracking?
Well,
I guess is the first.
So here's the thing. Someone posted yesterday on Bronco 6G that their axle housing, the rear differential, I think it's the I don't know what they call it, some weld joint there. It's not a continuous weld, right? Or between the center section, the pumpkin and the housing, the axle housings. I'm drawing a blank. I know the name of the weld, but apparently it's either or at least this dealer said, what the article said is that the tires, the 37-inch tires caused it. And then other stories are don't use trail turn assist if you've modified the suspension, including larger tires. One thing that I know that wouldn't be healthy is if you tried to do it on dry pavement. I mean, now we all know in this chat, everyone watching right now knows to not do trail turn assist on dry pavement or concrete. All right, we know that, but someone has tried it. It's had to have happened. The percentages, I think the odds just aren't for the favor of no one's done it. I'm pretty certain that puts a tremendous stress on it for sure. But I don't know about 37s by itself.
When you're dragging the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Soft, wet, gravel. Paved parking lots, probably not. Yeah. So I guess I'll get on the soapbox. I haven't been on there for a while, but
soapbox.
The Send It crowd. Send it. They like to do things out there on the edge of the envelope, and sometimes so it's I guess it's hard to say without knowing what the specific thing is. I think the idea, the concept of just having 37-inch tires on your vehicle is hooey. The axles should be able to stand up to a little bit more than that. And obviously the vehicle was built, and they should have had an understanding that people were going to put larger tires on these things, especially when they don't include a warning that says don't put anything larger than 35 on it.
Right.
But I guess the thing is you'd probably have to see what the specific circumstance was.
Okay. And the weld joint I'm talking about is a plug weld. So, mobile, I saw you the seam stitch rosette. Yeah, it's plug weld is what it's called. So I guess that's something you just pay attention to, right? I don't know. I mean, here's the other thing with me is I'm still perfectly okay with 35s on my Bronco and no lift. I mean, when the tires wear out, do I do something different? Maybe. I'm not going to say never, but I think that for me, now obviously you have someone like Destination Bigfoot Bronco that he has, I don't know if it's 37s or 38s or what he has on there. Thing looks really good. That Bronco looks like you think an off-roading Bronco should look. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy with mine because what about when I want to do that long distance travel? Get a little bit better gas mileage, less mass moving down the road, or whatever you want to say. But if you're buying it to off-road every weekend or every other weekend, well, then you're going for the lift, the bigger tires. I get that. So mine would be more toward Gavin and I doing like Withville this weekend, Carlisle. We just did Statesville, Tennessee once a year, maybe twice this year, or we went to Detroit last year with it. That's where I'm happy with it being stock. Right. So it's days like that I'm glad I haven't modified it.
Well, fair enough. Real quick in the chat though.
Yep.
Bird Dog mentioned Raptor has 37s with trail turn assist on it as a standard option, but Mobile Moto followed that up with the Raptor has a Dana 50 rear end.
It does.
Or a rear axle. So, but to that point, I mean, they've made this thing, and there's a certain level of expectation. But what's abuse and what's out having fun? Where's that fine line in between those 2 points? So.
Yeah. And I mean, and on Ford's behalf now, they cannot build a vehicle that someone just rolls down the rock somewhere and then takes it into the dealer on Monday.
Hey,
right?
The only person I know that's rolled it down the rock, by the way, more than once, Tyler, I'm not sure if I want to go wheeling with you, buddy, hasn't complained once about it.
Yeah. No. I mean, like I said, that takes extreme off-roading next level for sure.
Yeah.
And, part of what Tyler's doing too is I know some people, give him grief. I read the comments and listen to the garbage, but the one thing about it is he's doing it. He's building products. He's selling products. I think most of them are here in the country, this country, designing, working with fabricators, engineers, putting the product out, marketing, doing it right to make that off-roading adventure a little bit better. And that's what I like is it's easy to sit back and Monday morning quarterback and criticize someone, but then you have him, rolling the thing over, trying the tops out. By the way, what'd you think about the top not crushing in on that? Did you watch that video?
Is that the one in Pritchard Canyon?
I don't know what. Sorry, my
there's
phone
a couple
was blowing up there.
But I tell you,
this is the one with the armadillo top on it,
right? The thing with Tyler, that vehicle, yes, it's a Bronco, it's a wheeling vehicle, but it's a test platform for him.
Sure,
and I'm sure he is, based off the products that he has developed and built and sold, has covered the cost of that Bronco.
Yeah.
That's the cost of doing business.
Well, and that's the thing. That's where I think Buster came from, and see what he can bust on it and see what he can redo and fix.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, perfect. So I love seeing it. It's like, what's next, right? So, and the rear diff thing, I know he changed the diff in his, but does he look at something like what's going on and try to come up with a solution for it? I think if anyone on the landscape right now that I know of that would look at this and come up with a solution might That might be where they start. So anyway, um, Tim, I think it's awesome. Like I said, the ingenuity that goes into the Bronco, and think about the Ranger coming up. I think the Ranger is going to be more of the overlanding folks that are really loving the pickup trucks.
Yeah.
I think the Ranger Raptor, there's going to be that person that likes the Bronco but needs the payload of a truck, right? You can tow 7,500 pounds more than the Bronco. There's going to be that person that trades to a Ranger. Then there's going to be the overlanding person, and then there's going to be a person that just says, "Hey, man, I think it's a cool factor." But here's the problem.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, what I was gonna say was, I even think when, my wife's car's time to be renewed, I think I'm gonna make her get a Ranger,
Yeah.
whether she wants one or not.
Uh-oh. Yeah, right. Say that a little louder so she can hear it. Yeah. But
she's
yeah.
asleep.
But but I but I think the issue is going to be this is, of course, not all dealers, but some dealers with the ADMs, right? So here comes another specialty vehicle. At the same time, interest rates are high, going higher. I do not see interest rates trending lower. They're going to trend higher based on what we're seeing, housing, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, and
it's definitely a good leading indicator.
it's a leading indicator. Trust me,
Yeah.
the pulse, right before the shock and awe of everybody knows what's going on when it happens. So when you look at the economic stuff, but you think about it, so here you have a very sought after vehicle already. People can't wait to get one. Dealers are only going to be allocated a few, 1, 2, 3, based on their numbers and all that, math, the algorithm math, not algorithm, but what did I just say? Allocation, the allocation math.
Yeah. Well, they'll stick all that stuff in the supercomputer.
Yeah. So what's going to happen
it a little bit?
Some dealers are going to really jack up that markup.
I think that's only going to last so long, and
Yeah.
I think those days have come and gone. We're seeing Ford, everybody shifting to this more buy on demand, order on demand type model, where they're not flooding the market with a bunch of vehicles. They're not having a ton of vehicles sitting on lots. And at the end of the day, dealerships don't have to be ginormous. They can be like the Tesla dealership, where it's literally a storefront with 3 or 4 model vehicles in it, and everything's done by order, and it's delivered and you come and get it.
Yep. Delivery, walk around, show you how it works and go. Yeah. But I just think but I agree with you. The days have come and almost gone. Depends on what part of the country you're in, whether it's gone or not. You're dealing with more, let's say high margin areas, it's still there, but if you're dealing with certain rural areas, it may not be. But I think that on specialty vehicles, because there's only a few being built and a few that want it, I think the math's still going to work for them. They're going to find someone. And then there's other dealers out there that you're blessed to have that don't mark up vehicles like that. And there's a difference. There was a story, Tim, about let's see, so the last number recorded was for April. So from February to April, well, I guess they said February, but I'm assuming they meant March. So let's say March to April. The average ticket for service departments and franchise dealerships dropped from March to April of this year. However, they're still up year over year. So what's happening is people's keeping vehicles longer.
Yep.
They're having to obviously invest more money and fix them, but they're still looking at an average $750 a month payment.
Yeah. So, I think part of the reason, now Ford, GM, Toyota have not contacted me about this specifically, but I've done a lot of research, and I've looked at the analytics, and I think it's honestly, they're losing money on those quick ticket items in the service center, like 5 tire rotations,
right,
and oil changes, because people are watching my YouTube videos on those two specific subjects right there. And I think I'm single-handedly going to take down the
Dang it, Tim.
auto service industry
Yeah.
with those two videos right there.
With the
alone.
2 videos.
Just those 2 videos.
Are you being cynical in the fact that someone told you that in the chats, or you just?
No, honestly, I think that I try to, looking at my own personal story, right? I drive all the time. I used to drive a lot
Right.
for work, and to me, taking a vehicle and having $100 oil change was worth it to me, because that freed up my time to do these, to do whatever, spend it with my kids or do something else, or
Exactly.
work for that fact. But now that I've got all the time in the world, I'm saving 2 hours a day in driving and these other things. Hey, part of the reason I bought the Bronco is I could slide my fat ass underneath it and change the oil without having to lift it up, or or do those tire rotations. A little bit of, honestly, any person out there can do it,
Right.
to rotate their tires with the equipment that you have in the vehicle already,
Right.
the jack and everything. Is that the easiest way to do it? No.
No.
But, yeah,
Doable though.
But it is doable. But like for me, I went out and bought an impact driver from Harbor Freight.
Mhm.
It is what it is. But I'm not using that professionally, and my livelihood doesn't depend on it.
Yeah, you just need to rotate your tires every 5,000 miles, or
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, those are the kind of things, and I'm doing it, and I feel better about it. I'm saving the money, and I feel better because I'm accomplishing something. And so I always try to encourage people to, if you've got the time, do it.
Yeah.
Do those kind of things, because it's simple. And the one of the things as we shift away as a society from doing those hands-on type things, that those are skills that'll get lost. I mean, great that there's plenty of YouTube videos out there that can show you how to do a lot of things. And I think a lot of people are doing those kind of things now themselves because access to the information is there, and they want to do something that, allows them to give them a little bit of a sense of accomplishment. And
well, and it's a struggle right now with young kids because, with Gavin, he does have his digital time, but I don't have to say I make him help me. He wants to help me. He genuinely is interested in cars and trucks and automotive and mechanical stuff. He's pretty good with it too. Gavin's an old soul. Someone said that last week on here, and my wife and Becky and we've said that for years. Gavin just has that, I don't know, like he's done it before type, attitude.
Mhm.
He loves hanging around while we're working on, say, the black car. He loves knowing how it works. He, like we were getting into the engine details the other night. So in my video with the Mustang, I'm going to let him tell the story. But the reason why there was a old engine builder years ago that he built Ford engines, and he showed me this one trick that if you don't you love those things? Like, sign up for $19.99. I'll tell you this one trick, but it's not like that. It's just going to be the one trick to making a lot of horsepower in a small block Ford. And it wasn't all this crazy stuff. I told Gavin the other day, and he got it. And he sketching it out, thinking, well, this is why and how that works. I'm like, man, great. So he has this, I guess the somewhat of knowledge about it, but he also is genuinely interested in working on some of his stuff, but not all. Like, for example, our work trucks go to the dealership. I want nothing to do with that. But my Bronco is that's part of the fun of it, right? Using it, go and have fun with it, maintaining it yourself. I was going to say, I got to get a couple comments here. Bronco 78 said, not sure about the new car market, but used Broncos still selling 15 over here in his area. That's pretty steep.
Wow.
Bird Dog said Tim, aka El Bronco Santa, taking the big corporations down.
That's right.
And Bronco 78 dealerships are going to start paying Tim to go around and teach their service techs how to do 5-tire rotations. Tim, you could do consulting, tire consulting or something.
Somebody was saying that they went to their dealership and they wouldn't do a 5-tire rotation, a Ford dealership.
Yeah.
And they went to go get new tires at, I don't know, a Tire Barn or one of those, retail tire places. And, I guess they had mentioned it to them and they're like, oh yeah, we do it all the time.
Well,
probably because they sell, a lot of off-road vehicle.
Sure.
tires.
And they probably maintain those, by the way. Hey, and everyone, we have a lot of people in the chat now. If you would hit that thumbs up for me. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel. We greatly appreciate it. And hit the notifications with the little bell icon and hit all. We go live, post the videos, pretty fun stuff there. Appreciate that. Bird Dog said, don't need to change the oil when you're forced to drive EVs. Good point. I'm not a fan of working on my everyday driver, but I really enjoy being able to work on my 78. Yeah, and I can't speak for you, Craig, but I think that, that 78 Bronco of yours is, like I said, it's how I look at my Mustang or my Bronco. It's that sense of accomplishment, too. When you do something with it, it's more you connected, and you also know it a little bit better. Some people have no desire to touch their off-roader, but I think if you're going to do any amount of off-roading, you kind of want to know the basics in case you break something on the trail. So,
I think that's very important.
Yeah.
Unless you're somewhere where you can call Matt from Matt's Off-Road Recovery to come and get you.
He seems to be, he's like, remember that movie, Mr. Deeds? Remember the guy was like sneaky. It was like every time you turn around, he was there. That's like Matt's Off-Road Recovery. It seems like different parts. I know it's out west, but he seems to be everywhere helping people out. So it's pretty cool. He gets around. Bird Dog said, so glad my dad, rest in peace. And sorry to hear that, showed me how those things was done when I was a kid. Absolutely. So, and good for your dad teaching you that, like my dad and I think a lot of people, I'm not speak for everyone, but I know my experience.
It's interesting. My dad was tied to the desk. It was before in the beginning of computers, right? And he didn't show me anything.
Yeah.
When it came to this kind of stuff. I mean, he wasn't big on, household repairs or those kind of things, electrical or
right.
Even automotive. So I learned, my neighbors, I had one that raced figure 8 stock car and another one that drag raced. And so as a young boy, probably, Gavin's age, I would go over there when they were out working in their garage, in their garages at night on their cars. I'd go over there and watch as much as I could. Yeah.
Just interested. Yeah.
Just to learn. Never really did anything, not much hands on, but I was there and I watched and I learned, but, a lot of it, I had a good friend of mine, when I came back to Indiana after I got out of the Navy, I didn't last here very long. It was, I went from Southern California to cold and I hated it. So I moved to Florida. Todd and we moved to Florida, and Todd could work on cars and stuff like that. And the best thing he ever did for me was he, whenever I needed something done, he wouldn't do it for me. He would show me and step back and let me do the work.
Yeah.
And, and that was probably the best thing that I ever got, because I learned how to fix cars, not, because I wanted to. I learned how to fix them out of necessity. I didn't, I in that same time of life where you couldn't get the tube of cookie dough. I mean, same thing. I starting out in my career, just got out of the Navy, and I didn't have a lot of money to spend. And beer was an important part of my diet, so most of my budget went to housing, food, and and beer and more beer and
occasionally car maintenance and a couple more beers while you're doing the car maintenance. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Robbie, thanks for saying that. Yeah, Gavin has been, he's been easy to teach respect, because he just has always, he's just a good dude. That's all I can tell you. He's fun to
I
be
can
around.
I can vouch for that.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
He's a
he's
very good kid.
God, man. He keeps me our road trips. Yeah, well, you saw the live we did on Instagram when we were driving in that heavy rain.
Yeah, yeah.
By the way, taking full advantage of the radar in the Bronco. If you don't know, with on your infotainment screen through navigation, you have the ability to see live radar, the Doppler, so you get to see what you're driving in, what you came out of, or what you're headed to. We Man, I love the Bronco in the heavy rain. By the way, no leaks with the soft top. I had no leaks, and we just plowed right through it. Safe speed. I wasn't doing the highway speed, but a lot of people, when they were sitting beside the road, you know, waiting for the cloud to stop, we were just cruising on home. So like it was not even breaking a sweat.
I tell you, I think I like it because we set up a little bit higher, with the exception of the semis. Don't get much of the rain mess because you're up higher, so it makes it a lot easier to see when it's pretty rough.
Good point. Bird Dog said, my Ford dealership doesn't do 5-tire rotation, so there's one for you. But Discount Tire does. Bronco 78 said, Adventures. I have seen several people complain about Ford not doing the 5-tire rotation. I have no idea why. I don't know. I just think if you ask for it, I think you also have to think about this is, this is not the channel for it, but we have a service training business that's launching later this year. We had sort of beta stuff going on the last couple of years. But one of the things is that certain companies, Tim, they don't do something because they're not comfortable with it, or they're lucky to have people show up to do what they do, and adding anything extra to that could be a problem, right? So if you train to do things, and I'm not saying this is the way they do it, I'm just saying hypothetically, could this be that, they do things and they have this regiment and a certain way of doing it, and it almost becomes a subconscious habit. This is what we do. This is why we do it. And here's what we do. And it's a vicious cycle. I think with the Bronco is still new enough, excuse me, that it's something different. And some dealerships, I'm sure, do it. They understand. Maybe there's the service manager is an off-roader himself and or herself, and they know. Or it'll trickle down. Eventually, they'll be recommended to do it. But I think a lot of people, they have their system, they have their habit, and a 5-tire rotation has never been a part of it. So that may be part of it.
I think some of it is minimize effort, maximize profit.
However, that's short-sighted because customer service precedes all profit.
True.
It does.
But there again, not everybody that's, the guy running the service manager may not be a business expert. He might have just been the guy who is stuck around the longest and, can organize stuff pretty well.
Yeah. And that's truly the job of the GM, really, to manage, in my opinion.
But it's I think, there are a handful of vehicles out there with a full-size spare. They're becoming more and more. I think that in general practice for tire rotation, because they've got some, scaled down donut or whatever, is generally what they're looking at. Most people who buy the aftermarket tires or the larger tires go to a Discount Tire or a Tire Barn or one of those places, and so they probably lose out on that business anyways, so they probably don't really care. I generally, I think, and even if it's most of with the like the Jeeps, unless you get into the Rubicon the equivalent to the Badlands or comparable to the Badlands, you're getting just standard 17-inch all-terrain tires anyways, just regular road tires. So once again, they may have a full-size spare in the back, but I think you get into one of these situations where it's just a plain Jane tire and it's typically covered up with a tire cover. Nobody thinks about it.
Yeah.
That's my analysis.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty good analysis, I'd say. So where do you think going forward? I know we'll wrap this up here in the next 10, 20, 30 minutes, 2 hours, 4 hours, tomorrow, whenever. Where do you think Ford's going with the Bronco? I'm predicting we'll know mid-24 when the hybrid's coming out. Is that the Oats? I don't think so. I think the Oats is something totally different.
You really want to know what that Oats is?
I do. I mean, look, you're going to go through the trouble of registering it, right, with the government.
But how much does that cost?
I don't know.
And think about that just for a second. If I could come up with something to get people to start speculating and talking about my brand all over the place on live streams and the interwebs and get magazine coverage just by spending a couple $1,000, I don't know but just by spending a couple $1,000 to register it with the NTSB, is that worth the money? That is one step above free press.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Controversy creates cash.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. And also going through the trouble of trademarking something because maybe you might use it, but imagine the chatter, because some of these people just look and see different companies, what they're trademarking, and speculating what's coming. I do just genuinely want to know, but maybe who knows?
Have they filed a trademark for the Oats?
I don't know.
Or is it just a code name?
Well, it may be a code name. I would say it's a code name because I don't see how you'd market the Oats unless it was. I think it's more, I think
it's a 4-door, right? I think it was labeled as a 4-door.
It was. I know it was more of your sporty version. I thought it was a 2-door. Could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But I remember thinking to myself, I remember thinking to myself, and maybe I'm confusing realities here, but it wouldn't be a hybrid or EV because it's too short of a wheelbase because you need the room.
Yeah, but the battery's on top.
The
EVers are going to take it to the mall. Yeah. So they might as well make a permanent fixed hard top version of the Bronco just for the mall crawlers that piss and moan about all the noise because they've got a vehicle with a removable roof and doors.
Bingo. You know what? Every time I get on my Bronco, soft top with the 35 Goodyears, that do make they've got a little rhythm to them going down the road. I love it. You know what it reminds me of? What I'm driving? I'm driving a very capable, awesome machine that I truly love, that I have fun with, that I think looks as cool as anything on the road. I can have especially in the soft top, in 2 minutes, I can have the top folded back in the first position in literally 10 minutes, taking my time, the windows out, and the top all the way back. That's exactly what I'm hearing when I'm driving it, right? So, the Range Rover.
I hear it's white noise to me. It's white noise. I don't even hear it anymore.
Yeah,
I don't. It doesn't bother me. But and think about that highly capable vehicle with a removable top and doors, can roll up on the hood of your Prius because we've got the departure angle.
Kevin GR tuned in. Hey, how are you? I haven't seen you in the chats in a while. Thanks for tuning in. He says, hey, y'all, I'm driving a rental RAV4 2023 and hate it. Don't know why people like to. Yeah, I mean, there again, and some people are, look, I like Ford, but I definitely wouldn't have two vehicles that I didn't like. Right. So I get it when it comes to certain vehicles just don't drive nice. I know somebody asked me again. We went to States. Gavin and I do these weird trips. Statesville, there and back one day. It doesn't. Carlisle, back. And I mean, this year we're going to stay somewhere up there. But my point being is that I can do this trip in a day and it's comfortable. It doesn't wear me out. Now, my F-250, which I love that truck as good as anything, long trips, a little bit more working you, right? Because of the suspension.
Yeah.
But if I want to tow 12,000 pounds, okay, cool too.
Bronco 78 saying, if anybody's complaining about the noise, come take a ride with him for a day.
Is that with the top on or off?
I don't think it matters. I don't think that roof dampens anything.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
And Destination Bigfoot Bronco, how, like, since you've done all of your mods and you've got, of course, more wind noise under it, like anybody hears it, but with all the stuff, you're not going to hear anything underneath it. But with all of the gear to the top, how does that change the noise? And what about the tires? Are the tires really loud? Or do you hear more wind noise, or is it sort of like it was, or are you used to it? I mean, that's just interesting to know about that. Let's see. Mobile said the Ford Mustang 1994 SN95 was known as the Rambo in the New Edge. Cool. Mobile's he's a wealth of knowledge, by the way.
He's like our little Rain Man of
it's like
automobile knowledge.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Mobile Rain Man.
Keep it coming, my friend. Keep it coming. No, so it was the my dog in the background says hello, Tim. See, the Rambo in the New Edge in 1999 was the Terminator. They used the Rambo for the first restyle of the Terminator. Wow. Okay, I didn't learn something.
What was the Taurus that they used in RoboCop? What was its code name?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. But I remember when those Tauruses first came out, the station wagon with the real bubble part in the back. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, if you're going to have a wagon, it was streamlined. That was for sure.
We saw an old station wagon. I was explaining to my kids about
what it is,
how they'd have the reverse rumble seat in the back, and how we used to sit in the back and as kids and look at cars.
No seat belts, no helmets, no nothing.
No, nothing.
Hey, Nick said, where's this comment at? We'll get the next comment in a second. Yeah, Michael said Shelby Hall would drive the Oats. Hall and Oats. Seriously, that was a thought that everybody had. Hall and Oats. I mean,
I honestly think if you stick with the horse theme, right, with Broncos,
eat oats.
I'm going to say that oats is food.
Mm-hmm.
Food is fuel. I think it's got something to do with the type of energy it's going to use, the power plant.
Well, and if it's
that's my speculation.
If
it's not like
if it's not a two-door,
play golf or anything.
Oh, here's Nick's comment, by the way. Sorry, Nick, about that. Or come ride with me in my 1970 Bronco. You know what? I think somebody asked me the other day, they rode in a, 73, 74 Bronco, and they couldn't understand why anyone want to buy one. And I'm like, if you're not getting it for a ride to put you to sleep, you're getting it for the nostalgia, like what it is, right? It was that hunting vehicle, that off-road vehicle. It was rugged at the time. There was Jeep and that, and I guess International at the time. It was pretty amazing. Tim, have you had a chance to listen to Bring Back Bronco, the podcast?
I have not yet. No, I'm not doing enough driving, but
yeah. Well, when you drive,
although I just drove to Dayton, Ohio from here, so
yeah.
I probably should have listened to it.
It is really good. I recommend everyone check it out. So it's called Bring Back Bronco. Just search for that on anywhere you listen to your podcast. And it tells the story about the Bronco from the beginning. And there's a story about an International in there, how the head engineer hurt himself in one, testing it for the upcoming Bronco. But then, the evolution of the Bronco, and they mix current day. I forget the host of it. Excellent host. But he brought in current day, or at the time, in the 90s, information along with then talking about the first gen. So it's really well done. It's not this monotone, boring. It's very interesting. So you almost wonder what the next chapter or the next episode, I guess it'd say in a podcast, next episode was going to be about. And so you find yourself listening to it till the end, and you learn quite a bit about the Bronco first being built, going away, and then how it almost never came back. And thanks to the Ford Ranger, it did come back. That's another reason why Ranger's on here. I guess we owe Ranger a lot, right? Let's go into some of the Tim, do you have to go right now?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
See, Bronco 78 said, too many people want these new vehicles to drive themselves. Yeah. Bronco 78 said, I'm right there with you. So he's talking about the riding it.
You gotta put those up on the screen.
I'm going to put it right here. The original Taurus was a CD3.
Mine had a 66 CD changer in the rear. No 3.
Was that okay? Code name, maybe. What were we talking about? CDs or code name?
I don't know. He said it was CD3. I'm like, no, I had a 6. I actually had a 90. I had a 99 Taurus. It wasn't a bad vehicle. No complaints.
So Broncos 78 Adventures. I'm an old school truck guy. These new Broncos are quite smooth and riding. They are too quiet and smooth riding for me. Yeah, and Craig got to ride with us on one of the drives up in Tennessee. Nice chatting with him there. So yeah, I think he liked it, but he's happier with his 78.
He's one of those kind of guys that's never going to admit that he likes a Gen 6 Bronco, but then he secretly has one in his garage.
Yeah. He drives it during the week, but never to the events because nobody could know, right?
Right,
yeah.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. We're going forward with the Bronco other than new trims. Trims will go away. The limited will go away because it's in the name limited. They're only going to build so many. There'll be a new trim show up. Does the Everglades come back? I don't think personally the Everglades is done, but that's my prediction. The Everglades will show back up next year, and a hybrid Bronco's on the way in 2 years.
Yeah. So
we'll
the
see if any
Everglades
of
is
those
kind of an interesting model, and I don't know if overall there was enough interest in it, but I could see maybe some more specific use, not themed per se, but used, Broncos that were built out for a specific function, or at least as its primary function, with the snorkel and the all the kit that came with it and everything. So, maybe it's, well, you got the Raptor, which is more desert racing. The Everglades, maybe it's, well, the Badlands, more the rock crawling and everything. So maybe it's, I don't know, snow patrol Bronco.
Well, if you look at Ford's website,
Clydesdale edition.
Well, there you go. I mean, with 37s, but the 37s are reserved for the Raptor. But on Ford's website under Badlands, the little subtitle there is for extreme off-roading, and the Wild Track is for high-speed off-roading. And then the Raptor says something, I don't know the wording is, but like for all the above, extreme
desert running.
I
don't know. I don't know. I'm not in the marketing department, so.
Well, and now, Nick brings something up that I think a lot of people wish they had is, a Bronco with an exhaust system to set off car alarms. So you think about the V8 side of things, really loud. It's got the rhythm. Think about top down cruising through the mountains. I mean, no better soundtrack than that.
I don't know. When Craig was rolling behind me, I had my windows up, my air conditioning turned on, and a radio blast, and then I could hear his truck. So
you think he ever cleaned his air filter out? Yeah. That was a dusty road. Gosh, I felt so bad.
I almost wish it had rained before we hit it.
Yeah.
That way to knock the dust down, but also add a little bit more than a quarter or a half an inch of water in that stream crossing that you did, the water crossing.
Let me tell you something.
It was official, though. It was a real bona fide stream that went across the road.
You saw the video.
I will give you your props.
I was in deeper water on Route 58 in Emporia, Virginia, than I was on that trail.
But that doesn't matter. That wasn't a water crossing over the road event. I mean, it wasn't like you weren't.
I wasn't off road. Yeah.
No, you were. That was just poor water management from the Department of Transportation. That road in Tennessee, though, on the other hand, was a bona fide river over the road crossing.
It was. That's and I there should be a sticker for that. I crossed my my first water crossing or something today. And just we can make a joke about that, right? Yeah. It left the mall parking lot. Mobile Motto said Wikipedia says the Taurus was Ford's FN9 platform. Man, that's come a long way. So the Dark Horse, of course, I would order something that's going to be delayed. It's going to be a while, I think, for those show up. I would not be surprised if it's early next year for the Dark Horse. But I guess the EcoBoost and GTs are going to start rolling out next month. So we'll see how those look. So talking about that, Ford is building the 23s right now. I think this week's scheduling was for Raptor only. Hold on Heritage. So I'm assuming maybe grills or something that's unique for that. So, and then we keep. I know I keep talking about. I can't say we. The new Ranger is going to be a very popular vehicle. It's already popular, right? Mm-hmm. Just in the hype. When you're doing data on the back end of a video, you can see how much attention's there based on how it ranks. So it's hugely popular. I think that they can only build so many. So I wouldn't think that Bronco production would speed up too much unless there's parts of that plant that is not up to speed because of retooling. Don't know.
Could be. I never got a chance to take a tour of the plant, so
yeah.
I was busy down at the corporate headquarters.
Oh,
scoping out the free snacks and the employee lounge.
Oh, well, I can't say that. Gavin had fun around that area too. When we went to MAP, we were just in the parking lot, so you could see the front door. You could it was kind of cool being there. You could see the mod shop, but we weren't able to go in. I don't know that. I don't know if generally many people get to go in there. I think some people do, special occasions, whatever. I know you get to go in the Rouge.
I'm telling you, if you grab a clipboard and walk around like you own the place, nobody will even ask you a question.
Get a safety vest on and sort of the whole, yeah. I would like to be officially invited one day, so I'll never do that. Gavin and I, we actually will be, and I'm sure you'll see something closer. We'll be in Detroit here in a short time. Pretty cool. We're going up there for for a day. And I would try to catch up with someone up there that we know. So, hey, let's go grab dinner at Ford's Garage. So it's going to be fun. Okay. Destination Bigfoot Bronco said RTR. I did see where different people were invited to that. I'm not getting invited to anything. This just y'all need to write for it. Tell them.
You need to be an auto journalist.
Yeah, RTR. RT. Well, I'm a reviewer, right? Or am I? What I don't know what I am. RTR unveiling looked awesome. So good deal. Yeah, I think they really have a good design. By the way, the RTR grill, I think Destination Bigfoot Bronco has one. That's a very sharp looking grill. Have you seen those, Tim?
Isn't that what Bird Dog Adventures Overlanding?
Does he have it? Huh.
I think.
I forget what mods he has because he has one of everything. And
Then
by
you
the
just
way,
assume that it's on there because he has at least
yeah,
one
he
of
has one
everything.
of everything, so it has to be.
He's
on
actually
there.
got 4 different shock towers on there. 4
Thanks.
different tires.
By the way, speaking of
With
Bird
5
Dog,
different rims.
did you see his? I think it was an Instagram post where he had the doors off
Mhm. Yep.
and the tube doors on.
Yep.
It's a sharp looking Bronco. I tell you, I like the way it looks. I do like those tube doors on there. They're appealing. And somebody said, Bronco 78 said Night Bird Dog, so I think he's out right now. And Mobile said merit badges. If that's in comment to the water crossing, we need to have like a trail with a blue
yes.
pinstripe.
Yes.
The
I'm with you.
pinstripe. Yeah. Let's do it.
A gravel road with a single thin blue line going across it.
Yeah. Yeah. We crossed our first water crossing today. And actually in Withville, there may be, and hey, and look at the bright side. If it does rain and we go, maybe there'll be a big one there. You're going next to the new river. As long as you're not in the new river, I think we're doing well. Well, Tim, do you have anything you want to talk about before we roll out of here?
No, just working on some videos, coming up with some new ideas. Obviously, with it being warm outside, I'm going to be doing more outdoor things in my new series. I'm going to call it Bronco Tailgate Adventures, and try to do fun things, both myself and my kids. Just stuff that you can. We got these off-road vehicles. Go out, get off the beaten trail. Yeah. Something you can do out of the back of the vehicle. It doesn't require a whole lot. So that's going to kind of be my focus this summer.
Good deal. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's why I got our vehicle.
As long as it doesn't get wet inside, you're on board, right?
Come on, man! I'm telling you.
Come on, man.
Destination Bigfoot said, and demerits for not off-roading. Well, go ahead and send me one of those because I know y'all want to because I haven't been. Hey, Becky's Bronco has been off-road more than mine. Isn't that interesting? And I don't know if you saw the sketch. I don't even know if I have it on here. Where we have the guy with our little Sasquatch dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
sitting on top of an overturned. Yeah, it's a green Bronco. It's not a blue one. So hint, hint. Let's see.
Are you implying that Becky's a bad driver?
No, she's actually a very good driver. Very, very impressive. And sometimes when you're off-roading, you get a little nervous anyway. Even if somebody's a good driver, she's good at it. She's a natural. I think she's very comfortable with it, and she likes having a vehicle that I don't think she wants to test it to 100% of its limits, but she knows that it has more ability than she's probably going to push it. But then again, who knows? Yeah, I don't have that. I was going to show you that, but I don't have that in here. Let's go back to some of the comments, and
I think I saw a paper copy of it. But
you'll see it. It's like I said, yes, the stuff is happening. It took me forever to get stickers. I know. But I have a lot of free time coming up. We're expanding our business at the worst possible time in history in one aspect, and another aspect, the best time. So I've just been overwhelmed, right? So that's my excuse.
Is it a bad thing to expand your business right now?
It depends what business you're in. So we're in the business of adding doors to the economy, building houses or renovating or bringing a house that's livable. So that's good. You just can't get too far ahead of yourself in case interest rates. There was a funny thing about how interest rates going up.
See,
6.7 slows it down. 6.4, it's okay. I think what's that? Oh, what is that?
What do you see right there?
Driven wild.
Wrong. Yeah, it's there. I got it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you've got it. And we have the new one.
Bonafide sticker. Well, that's the sticker I got right there.
Yeah. Well, this is the one you had where you had to pull this little film off the front. And this is the new easier version. Now the next version, 3.0, has a split back. So it makes it easier to do. Yeah.
That would be nice.
We're trying to get there. But to answer your question, it depends on what business you're in. That's all. Let's see. Bird Dog Off Road, good time. Oh, here we go. Dwayne, do you know any good vinyl guys around? Going to add a few things. I actually know an excellent company, and it's A&E Repro Graphics in Virginia Beach on Cleveland Street, I think it is.
Is he Destination Bigfoot Bronco down in your area?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
somewhat. Yeah, in mid Eastern Virginia. So we're driving enough driving distance. As a matter of fact, they have. I don't know if they have a 3D scan of my Bronco. They may have the dimensions. For just reach out to me on Instagram. They may have it. Oh, let's see here. Kevin GR said a blue line with a Sasquatch on one side and a Bigfoot on the other. There you go, Tim. There it is. There's your design right there. That's pretty good. Oh, and by the way, did I see the news right that we lost Tina Turner today?
Oh, we did. Yes.
All right. Well,
Yep.
that is sad because I love songs. She's such a great artist, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And her, I think I saw that right before I came up for the show, and I didn't have enough time to look at it, but I just remembered when I saw one of the comments. Anyway, well, we're going to miss her because she's awesome. Nick, I was looking at my new exhaust system and mocking up in place. Okay. Yeah, Nick's getting close to getting his Bronco going. We got to see this thing. And he's got it in his profile picture there. See the front. Let's see. Sticker Wars. Well, yeah. Split back to make the bash plate application.
Tell you what, and I'm going to say this.
there you go.
If you guys are on Instagram, Auto Illustrations has been really popular in doing the the illustrations of Broncos on for people on Instagram, and that has led to a large group of Bronco owners who have taken that illustration and had stickers printed either Sticker Mule or wherever,
right?
And so sticker swaps have become a big thing now. Stickers and patches, which is cool because it's like that picture of my tailgate. I mean, it's full of stickers of Broncos and some Jeeps and some other Toyotas. I'm not going to discriminate. People want to get out in the outdoors. I don't care what they drive.
Yeah.
So, but it's cool because it's I always say they're there on my adventures with me.
Right. Yeah. So. All having fun together. Hey, speaking of stickers or the patches, I should say, the Velcro. So if you have a hard top, it's convenient, right? You put it on the sound deadening material if you have it. Ford has gotten a lot of grief for the carpet on the back of the seats. Is that why that carpet's there? I mean, look, when you listen to the podcast, by the way, you'll understand one thing. The research, the marketing and the research that was done on the Bronco was intense. They asked everything of off-road people, especially Jeep people. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? And part of it wasn't just the vehicle as far as functionality. It was the accessories. You think the carpet so in case you have a soft top is a place to put something like that, or am I being way too creative?
I think there's Velcro on the back of the seats for a utility reason.
Right.
Can you stick these patches on there? Absolutely.
Yep.
But I think it's there for people who've got stick up utility bags, that use Velcro instead of Molly straps. And so I think there was a reason that it was put in there, and I think
Yeah.
Some people bitch just to bitch, and that's the unfortunate thing.
That's one place to do it. I don't have a problem with it. As a matter of fact, I don't have the
Oh
archive.
no, I mean it's just they complain
Yeah.
about
Right.
they have
Everything.
to complain about something. So that's just one of those things. It's once again that's that crowd that thinks they're going to get the same experience in a Ford Explorer with a solid roof and sound dampening everywhere.
Yeah.
But they're just people are never going to get happy.
Yeah.
Make
Let's
your
see.
logo into a magnetic sign. Yeah, stick
Yeah.
it right on the side of the Bronco.
Actually, there's only one place on our Bronco to fit, and that's the rear quarter panel. The rest is SM sheet molded compound, so SMC. And the Raptor is all SMC. But it would work on the fold down table, or I don't know.
Mine is non-ferrous, so that's aluminum.
It would be your what is?
My drop down table's aluminium.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there you go. Mine is steel. I have the one that Ford sells on the accessory. So yeah, you have a different one.
Yeah,
It is
I have
steel, right?
ACR.
Is it steel or aluminum? Oh geez, I don't even know now.
You need to run out there with a magnet right now.
Nope.
Just grab your camera.
Nope.
Grab your camera, run out to the garage.
Not enough content for a full blown video, but enough for a short. So
you can get it. You just need really 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. That you get people have that short attention span, anyways.
Well,
3 to 5 minutes, you're good.
Well, let me answer this though, Nick. That is a good point, and especially on say up, the first gen, second gen, all the way up to what gen was I guess it had to be fifth gen, right? The 94. Let's see. Have you seen
the OJ was drinking gin Bronco?
That was it. Have you seen where people with the lower trim of the Ford is modifying their order and adding the MGV and making them pay the upcharge? I have not, but I did see where someone added the washout floors and a wild track. Mobile said he hasn't messed with the Molly yet. Let's see. Now the MGV. Yeah. So MGV is standard and lower trim, by the way.
And I think it should be. And it really, I'm so used to seeing it. You don't get to see a lot of Broncos unless you go to some place like Supercell or whatever, where you see, a big gathering of them. And I was surprised looking in some of these other ones and seeing something other than black seats and seeing carpet. And I don't know if that's, to me, I'm perfectly happy with the washout floors on the marine grade vinyl. And the fact that I don't have powered seats 5 years ago would have bothered me, but today I'm perfectly fine with it.
You know what? I honestly go ahead.
I was gonna say those standard seats are comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And I do not feel 6 to 8 hours, 6 hours, my limit on driving, 8 hours tops. And I don't want to drive more than 2 days, more than one day in a row.
Right.
But at 6 hours, I don't feel worn out. I don't feel sore. I don't, I have no complaints. They are holding up well, and and I'm a big guy, so.
Well, plus when you slide in and out of a vehicle, right? So like, if you don't have side steps, then there's a tendency to slide in and slide out. If you have Sasquatch package, at least there is for me. Like
I put the steps on mine, and I've never used them. I can't coordinate. It's just easier to throw my leg up there,
and just jump
and just kind of slide in. Yeah. I honestly was nervous because, when they got a 2-door, what was it? 2-door Sasquatch. They had a 2-door Sasquatch something at the dealer. It wasn't your typical mannequin model, and So I was climbing up in that thing, and it was like, oh my God, this this might be problematic. So I went ahead and got the steps from Z Roads. By the way, overlanding for fun promo code Z Roads, and
Plug in.
so they
Hey, my friends
yeah
at O'Reilly Auto Parts, great
yeah
place to shop. Go there. Not
um,
officially sponsored yet.
but yeah, I was nervous, so I did get the running boards, which I tell you what, I have yet to get rock chips on the side of my truck. All the stuff that you hear with everybody getting bent out of shape, I haven't experienced, but I got those side steps like right as I got the Bronco,
Got it.
and
Yeah, just kind of. Well, Kevin Gr said power seat. I just took his comment off, but power seats are bad if you get them wet. I totally agree.
oh,
There's
absolutely.
something about the ruggedness of that ratchet, part to raise the seat up and then a lever for the back and the bar in the front to go forwards and back. Like I said, I'm not just trying to be a total fan of it, but I am. I mean, I said it this entire time I've had since we've had our Bronco on the YouTube. I like the thing. I mean, it's hard for me to criticize it. So I'm sure one day there'll something that'll aggravate. Even with the drive shaft recall, I took it in. They didn't have all the right parts anyway. Then I missed my last appointment. That was my fault. I'm sorry.
Talking about
But
seal.
but Tuesday it goes in. No, not a seal. This is the drive shaft because there's a rubber boot on the end that's at the joint. Basically, it could fail. There's no issues with mine whatsoever, but they got to do it.
There's a new recall, or
No, this is one that came out a while ago. We just haven't had a chance to get it done because of parts on back order.
I wasn't aware
So
of this. The only
yeah,
one I was aware of that is the child locks
well, I think
on the
when was your
glass, but those were certain.
so it was early on, and I fell within a week. So did you get your Bronco after me? When did you get yours? What month?
Last day of November 21.
You were out of that build period.
Okay.
So I was built the week before the ending of it, and there wasn't
Remember,
a lot of them.
I had the 8 production delays,
Yeah,
and they just never
that's a
built mine
lot.
because of all the other problems they were having, and the bad batch, and
Right.
the mic tops and everything. They just parked mine and never built it until they got the backlog taken care of.
Well, I was blessed with mine because it waited when I switched to soft top. Next week had a build date, and it was built when they said it was going to be built. And it was just so cool knowing that the thing was built that day, and then the track and the train, all that. Anyway,
So
it's still
I got
cool to me.
I got my build number, my initial build date and VIN number early. I mean, early, like what, a month or so after the orders closed. Because I was supposed to get mine early summer of 21, and then all the issues, popped up.
Yeah, they energize the module, something that we're talking about. We get meters set on a house and the house energized, It's like the office send out an email to the buyer. Hey, congratulations, your house is powered up today. I'm trying to think of like how can we add that cool factor, especially if you're building a house, it's like there's a good chance that you've really been invested in the design and all the flavors that are going into it,
Mhm.
So wouldn't that be interesting? So very interesting this whole process because I've ordered a vehicle before and it just showed up at the dealer. There was no, I didn't really care. Tell me when it's in. Of course, with this, we've kind of documented all of the stuff in an unusual time here. Let's see. Let's get a couple of comments here. They keep coming in, which is good. And appreciate that, by the way. Thank you for all the comments tonight. You're making the show very interesting with all the different takes and opinions and ideas for the patches, by the way. We got to do that. Just don't send me one for not off-roading. All right. I'm trying to reverse that bad decision. So Mobile said, and now we'll talk about this. He said, I had my 70-year-old aunt in the Bronco 2 weeks ago. She had extraordinary difficulty. I had to pick her up and finish place her in the seat of my 4-door Badlands. So, I'd like to know how she liked it overall. Once you get in it overall, my mom has ridden in my Bronco, which after her heart surgery, now she wants to go to the Outer Banks with us. So
Good for her.
she's going to be going down there. I told her she's going to have fun. She wants to go on the beach, but she doesn't want to walk a long distance to the beach. I'm like, well, guess what? You can get out. We'll put your chair right next to it and you're done. So she's going to have fun. But to answer that, I took a little step stool with me. She stepped on that step stool and then stepped right in. I was there with her to help her. And by the way, she loved it. She's like, wow, this is cool. So we'll see how she does driving an hour and 40 minutes with the top down on it. I don't think she's going to, she'll probably make me pull over and put the top up. We'll see. Let's see. She liked it otherwise. Okay. I didn't see that comment next. So she liked it otherwise. Good deal. And there Bronco 78 said, I carry a kitchen step and a stool. There you go. Perfect. So great minds think alike. And so it wasn't planned. So I understand that. Let's see. Both my polos need. Yeah. That, Takata airbag thing, that was a big deal, wasn't it? Tim, did you have any vehicles affected by that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Kevin GR said, do the new removable bolt-on steps from Ford bolt on to the rock sliders?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's see. What do we have
Yeah,
here?
same thing. Like I think IAG has a set of those too, where they literally just clip right onto the Badlands. Well, the Badlands come with them, but the
right,
the rock rails, and then you tighten them down, and then you can take them off if you don't need them on there.
Gotcha. So, and Mobile looks like he's towing a camper with an excursion. So Fordzilla, the excursion is what we used to call big things. And then funny thing is now they have the 7.3 Godzilla. Anyway, Tim, well, listen, everyone, thank you so much for being here. It's 11:11. That's a nice sign. I believe in astronomy or whatever.
It's 11 o'clock. Do you know who your children are?
Was it 10 o'clock? It was 10 o'clock.
It was.
Yeah. It's 11:11. Do you know where the kids are?
Yeah.
That's a good question nowadays. Do you know where your kids are? I know where mine are. Keeping them tight. So, but Tim, I appreciate you jumping on here last minute. Gavin, until summer break starts, and he struggles with this, getting up early for school and the school all day and doing it. But he'll be ready to go. And so if you're going to Wytheville, I'll kind of let everyone know what day, if not both days, we'll be there on Instagram. And so follow us over there. By the way, Tim, did you see my Instagram kind of taking off again? And for anyone watching tonight, because I invited them over from that. Let's see. I don't want to hit it here. Gotta turn the music down, obviously.
Your Instagram?
So we are now at 6,709 followers. So if you're one of those, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And I have a I don't want to play this thing here, but I think
this is what I was talking about. Look at there. Those are all Bronco
patches.
Stickers.
Well, stickers.
Like, what did they stuck this on?
Was it Auto Nation or Auto
Illustrations? Auto AI. And they're the ones that do the Broncos of Instagram posters of all the things. I mean, they do a nice thing. Oh, I just noticed that here. Hold on. Right.
Hey, good night, Nick.
Right there. Just under my finger. That looks like a Overlanding for Fun sticker. Look at that.
Oh, I know. Shoot. I'm probably going to confuse. There was someone. No, I'm excited. Yeah, I remembered something.
Well, that doesn't happen very often.
That doesn't happen very often, man. I'm over the hill. Well, I'm older than you, so whatever.
You are. I'm not going to deny that.
Just don't talk back to your elders, Tim. That's all I ask.
Okay.
Your Bronco was in someone's advertisement or on Instagram the other day. Now I need to remember whose it was.
Wouldn't surprise me.
You obviously bought something from someone and put it on there, and I will go back through and see if I can find it. I meant to screenshot it and send it to you and said, "Hey, do you know your Broncos on it?"
Was it a?
Was it lights? Maybe
I don't know.
I'll find it. Well, maybe there's an advertisement. I don't know if I can find it again, but I'll look for it. But I saw it and I was like, "Dang, that was pre logo." Overlanding for Fun down the side. It was in the window. The back.
I'll have to find out who's doing that then.
Yeah, no, it was one of your
Send him a cease and desist letter.
Come on, man. It was good.
You know, man, come on, man. I'm a big time YouTube star now.
Yeah. Or Facebook. That was a Facebook rodeo there. But anyway. But look, Tim, I'm out. I appreciate it. Thank you for everyone. Go through the name of everyone. It would take me all night. Everyone that commented tonight, thank you very much. We appreciate you being here. As always, thanks for the comments. 2 hours, 11 minutes. I think that's enough for Wednesday night. But we're out. I'll talk to you later. And everyone have a blessed week. Be successful. Tim, any parting words? Good night.
Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already.
There you go. Bell icon. All notifications. You'll know we go live or pop a video out. And see you. We're out. All right, everyone. Bye.